What's up, guys? I got the keys here, back with another video. So today I'm going to talk about looking in the mirror of the self, right? So to produce miracles, right, we have to take the call to the mirror, right? And now I'm not talking about a physical mirror, although yes, reflecting on your physical self is also important. But taking the call to the mirror within you, right? When you look in your eyes, what do you see? Right? You see yourself because your eyes are a mirror, right? You are reflecting light. And you also are the light, right? So taking the call from spirit, from the divine, right? From the source to come back to love, right? And not, even me, like I'm having trouble with judgment and stuff like this. And for me to be authentic on these videos, I have to practice what I'm preaching, right? And I'm working on those things, right? So, but like we have to really look into our shadow too and understand the reasons why we're acting the way we are. What are the patterns? What's creating this? Why are we creating it, right? It's being aware of yourself, right? Being aware of the love within you, being aware of the light within you, being aware of the wisdom within you, right? You are literally like a supercomputer, okay? This vessel is beyond anything that we could ever create, right? This is ancient technology, right? Our body is technology. It may not be, physical, electronics and all this, but we do have electricity within us, right? We have a current that flows through us, and we charge up, right? We have to sleep, so we charge while we sleep, right? So to produce these miracles, you have to be aligned with your inner self. And like a lot of people will have a miracle happen and they're just like, thank God, this, right? And it's that's the truth, right? It's all God. So everything is a miracle, even just waking up, right? But those real like moments where something big happened and it's like if God didn't come through for me, I don't know where I'd be, right? For me, that was almost losing my apartment, several months ago. And actually almost a year ago. And stuff like that. So it's like, if we're not aligned with that inner self, we can cause a lot of destruction in our life. And this can really break us down. And sometimes we need this, right? Sometimes God puts stuff in our way so that we can either break down our ego, right? Or to learn some lesson. And I'm not saying that Earth is a school or anything of the sort. Yes, you could see it as a university, right? But we're not really here to like learn lessons so much. We're just here to remember and create, right? And that's it. We are simply here experiencing ourselves, experiencing God, right? And so when we take this call to the mirror, we learn a lot about ourselves, right? We learn what our tendencies are, what are our addictions, what are, the foods that we eat on a daily basis. Are we taking care of our body, right? So, and this also is a mirror with other people, right? So you can also take this call to the mirror through other people, right? Because everybody else is also a mirror of you. Now, this doesn't mean that everything that comes in your life is a perfect mirror of you. But what I mean is there's people that will mirror you, like exactly the way you're thinking is how somebody's going to show up, right? So if you're thinking they're going to show up angry or show up, emotional or whatever, it's going to happen that way because you are quite literally thinking it into existence, right? So sometimes we don't catch ourselves when we do this and we think about stuff and it actually manifests, but we forgot that we even thought about it, right? But then it comes in and it's like, oh shit, right? So this is just like a huge inner call, right? And this is why people will say you're chosen, right? But it's not in a egotistical way of, oh, I'm better than you. We are all chosen, guys. Everybody is chosen. You chose within yourself, to break out of this pattern, break out of the old, self. And each and every moment you're recreating a new one, right? So we break out of the cycle and we learn to love ourselves again. We learn to eat better. We learn to meditate, stay in contact with God. And, we stay away from the things that cut our connection with God. And obviously you can never really be disconnected, but you can experience disconnection, right? But people mirroring you too, it's like, you also mirror people sometimes. So if somebody's coming at you with a certain energy and, like, let's say somebody's angry and they come up to you, you may end up mirroring them and then you are expressing their anger now, right? And that's another way you can look at things. So, if they're bringing up that anger in you, then guess what? They just showed you that you still have anger, right? And I'm not saying anger is bad, but we need to learn how to control ourselves, right? We need to learn how to let the emotions flow, but also stay grounded, right? So like you can be angry at something, but self-reflect on it. Like, why was I angry? And then you can solve that issue within yourself as to why I was like, why you were angry, why you were upset, what caused it, right? Because somebody that is present, 99% of the time, it's hard for them to get angry anymore because they see the truth in everything. And like I said, I'm not perfect, guys. I still get mad. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying once we learn to really, really sit in the higher vibrations, which is a vibration of thought, right? So higher thoughts. Okay. So we have a vibration, a thought, and then the frequency, how frequently we think it, right? The belief. So you're manifesting all the time. Okay. So when we become aware and really self-reflect, really understand that everybody is you, right? There is no separation. Again, we are one. Everything is energy and it's all connected, literally through a tether. Like we all have you could say a cord connecting us, right? It's like a cord of light. And you also have a pillar of light that comes through the physical body, right? Which is your column to source. So, guys, it's so important to self-reflect, especially if you're on a spiritual journey, right? And some people may find this and only be using it for self-motivation, which is also cool. No problem. But this is so important on a self-improvement journey, really, because if you can't look at yourself, you're never going to solve the problems within you, right? You're never going to solve, the money blockages. You're never going to solve the relationship blockages. You're never going to solve the commitment problems, right? All of this stuff resides within you from either past lives that you brought it with you within your energy, right? Or there's also your current life that you've lived, right? And your past, even though there is no real past, but the past versions of you, right? You adopted all this pain and trauma and, things you did to other people that you weren't aware of at that time, right? So learning to forgive yourself too, right? And forgive others, which is one of the hardest things to do sometimes because, we think, oh, this person hurt us and this, and this, but you have to realize it was their ego, because God isn't purposely hurting anything, right? So we also can look at it like the things that happened to us shaped us into the person we are, right? And I know that that's not always good for everyone because obviously we have murders, we have, this, and this, right? But, the more that you can really change yourself, you can change everything. And even if you were a killer, right? and you, like, let's say you tried to change your life around. You came out of jail. Um, let's say you spent your 20 some years in jail and you got out, and now you have this whole new life. Well, now you can change who you are. And I mean, that doesn't mean people are going to forget what you did. And that doesn't mean you're not going to get, you know, bullshit for it. But at the end of the day, that's not who you are anymore, right? That is a past version of you that you chose to be. So now you can choose to be a loving person that actually cares about people, right? And like I said, this is hard to do because you know you have to reverse the mind. But we also have to come into the heart, right? So guys, self-reflect. Take the call to the mirror, okay? Take the call from God. Because I know that consciousness is in there talking to you, right? And we all feel it, you know what I mean? Even the people that say they don't, if you're alive, if you're breathing, then guess what? God is within you. So I'll see you in the next one, and I love you.